is Levi, and welcome to another episode of Performance Gears, where we're doing a performance overview on the Lebron Soldier 12. Alright, so it's kind of crazy to think LeBron has had two successful lines, really. If you count the Ambassador and the Low, now we're talking about four different lines. But two successful lines, ultimately, that he's actually played in over his long career so far. Obviously, he has LeBron line 15 now with the Battle Knit, but the Soldier line has been one he's historically used, one, during practices, if you notice a lot of the video, and two, during the playoffs. Now, the most memorable playoffs that I remember was actually the Soldier 7s. So this is the one where he did not wear his LeBron 11. He really hated those. And this is the one he went to the finals in. Now, this is also the one that he lost. They came out with the cramp pack. But this is the closest one to something like what he wore, since they never really released anything like that. Nike will also be releasing the Soldier 1 as a retro, and this is one of his historic playoff performances. And again, I don't even remember that far back, 15 years ago. Those look pretty dope, but if you've noticed over the years, they've always had Velcro straps. Literally, 1 through 12 have some kind of strapping mechanism. I think the LeBron 5 probably looked the worst. The LeBron 11 really took it up a notch with the 4 straps going all the way up. And I think the craziest one is actually the LeBron 9. This sucker is actually very reminiscent of what we're going to get in the LeBron 12, so let's get right into it. Alright, so starting off with the upper, it's really cool to see that LeBron's, I guess, takedown model, but not really, since this is probably what he's going to be transferring over to for the playoffs, is using Battle Knit. So Battle Knit is actually a stronger version of Fly Knit, first launch of the LeBron 15. This stuff still feels like a sock, it's still lightweight, but it gives you pretty much all the support. I would say probably 80-85%, where you're not having to put something like this, you're not having to use foam posit, a lot of these heavy things that he's needed in the past. So having Battle Knit throughout the middle of the upper is going to lighten the shoe a little bit, while also giving him that support that he needs. Now, going to the straps, it's using a dual strap design that actually crosses over both sides. So I know they went from 3 straps from when he won it to 4 straps in LeBron 12. So a lot of people thought, hey, he's going to 5 straps this year. Well, not quite, but the way it looks is similar. So if you look at the LeBron 9, it had 2 straps, but it had multiple intersecting points. So it's going to give you a 2-strap setup, but it's really doing the crisscross, so that lockdown is going to be incredible. I know the one thing I really enjoyed about the Soldier line, especially coming at the 12s, is you really just can throw them on. You don't need to tighten your laces. If you're having any issues, just re-strap them tighter, and you're good to go. Now, one thing that's not confirmed, but it looks like it in the photos, and I'm really hoping they have it, is something that they had on the LeBron Soldier 3, and that is a detached forefoot. I don't know if you guys can tell it here if I squeeze down. So that does a couple things. One, it gives a lot of freedom of motion, so it just feels a little bit better for that forefoot flexibility. 2, I don't know if it actually is true, but it helps with less creases in the forefoot as well. And 3, it's just cool. So the way it looks like it might have that detached forefoot. I know the Jordan 25, I'm not sure what the actual year was, 2010, had that as well. And the James Harden actually has that from the Adidas camp. So this is not a design feature we've seen on a lot of shoes. So I'm excited if they finally brought that back. And if you look at the Soldier 3, this is another 2-strap design, but there's still laces here. So it's kind of cool looking at what he's taken from the past and bringing it to the new model. And finally, the traction. That is something that historically, it's been pretty similar. So, I mean, you've always had kind of like a diamond kind of front from the 9, even going back. This is the 7. And I don't know if you guys can tell here. So it's always been kind of a diamond square pattern, but he's finally going to a blade traction style, which looks phenomenal. Now, the only other pair that comes to mind that I know of is going to be your brand black line. So that started with your J Crossover 2, I believe, as well as your J Crossover 3. That used kind of a blade style traction. Worked really well in those models. Obviously, like anything else, it's going to depend on what kind of rubber compound they're doing, but at least on the onset, you're going to have traction, you're going to have something that's lightweight, and you're going to have solid lockdown. Now, the last bit is cushion, and I haven't really talked about it because they've really had the same cushion setup, I want to say, since the LeBron 6, Soldier 6. So from the 6 all the way to the 12, you're literally just getting forefoot and heel zoom. Now, outside of the LeBron 11, Soldier 11, this is the only one I really didn't like the cushion setup. It had the same forefoot and heel zoom, but you just really didn't feel it. Hopefully they do a nice setup, but with the heel and forefoot zoom, generally you're going to have a nice, comfortable ride, and it gives you a nice balance where it's not too heavy. So through the overview, really the LeBron Soldier in the last few years has become his go-to playoff model. Now, from the LeBron 9, they did have the Elite, and that went all the way through the 13. But the last few years, he's really just going to the Soldier line when the playoffs come, where he wants something that's going to be a little bit lighter. He doesn't really mind the less cushion, and he just wants something that's going to allow him to be a little bit quicker, since he's going to have a few more days off to recover, and he's giving it his last-ditch effort to win that chip. Now, throughout the season, he uses his main shoe because that has a lot more cushion, a lot more support, and it's going to allow him to make it through those 82 games. And considering how durable LeBron is, I'm going to trust his judgment on what he's using. But LeBron Soldier 12 essentially is what's going to be the de facto elite or his playoff model. All in all, should be a solid performer. The only other shoe that's going to be giving you heel and forefoot zoom in the new line from Nike and Jordan is really your new Chris Paul. And I did do an overview on that one coming out. And obviously those are two very different shoes. But ultimately, we'll do a test. I'll overview it, kind of see and do a performance review and see what one's best for you. But those two do have those things in common. We'll see how they hold up and which one is the better performer. It looks like there is a possibility if the Warriors can't heal up, you might be seeing Chris Paul in the CP3-11 against the Soldier 12 with the Cavaliers and LeBron James in the finals. I hope Curry can heal up, and I hope that Warriors team gets there. That's who I'm rooting for, but I'm not going to hate on Harden and CP3 if they can get there, because they work hard and they do deserve it. Guys, this is Levi with Sneaker Gears. Really appreciate you. Please leave your comments below. Let me know if you have any questions. As always, subscribe, like the channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and let me know what you guys think. Just got a new mic. Obviously, this is the end of the video, so if this sounds a little bit better, hopefully it makes it worthwhile and you guys can enjoy the video. Guys, really appreciate you. Come at you soon.